Today's top stories. Day 1 of the battle for Manila Bay. Thousands participate in the launching of the rehabilitation of Manila Bay. The government condemns the bombing of a church in Jolo, Sulu that killed at least 20 people. The military will take extra precautionary measures to secure the second Bangsamoro Organic Law plebiscite. And Filipinos mourn the death of OPM rock legend Pepe Smith.
Good day, I'm Pia Rosas Morato.
And I'm William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. Government and private stakeholders led the launching of the rehabilitation of Manila Bay on Sunday.
Establishments near Manila Bay were called out while authorities and volunteers commit to pool resources to clean up the bay. Rom Dulfo has a story.
Some 5,000 volunteers gathered on Sunday at the Carino Grandstand in Manila for a solidarity walk to signify the start of the Manila Bay rehabilitation efforts. The walk ended at the Raha Sulaiman Park, where authorities urged the public to further support the project. MMDA Chairman Danilo Lim said the rehabilitation of Manila Bay requires the effort of various government agencies and the public. Public Works Secretary Mark Villar said the event showed President Duterte's firm decision and strong political will to clean the popular bay. Secretary Eduardo Año said the rehabilitation of Manila Bay covers 190 kilometers involving 3 regions, 5,700 barangays, and 178 local government units. 3 establishments were the first to receive cease and desist orders from the Laguna Lake Development Authority or LLDA for causing pollution at Manila Bay. These are Aristocrat, Gloria Maris, and SM Esplanade. Meanwhile, DENR Secretary Roy Sematu said the Manila Bay cleanup has no timeline. He said there are areas which contribute pollution to waterways leading to Manila Bay differently from others. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Rom Dulfo.
About 79,000 bags of rice from Vietnam arrived in Bacolod City. The bags of rice which arrived back in December are being unloaded at the Breadco port and stored in warehouses in Negros Occidental. The National Food Authority says this was the third and last import allocation of the province for 2018. The 2 previous imports were from Thailand and Myanmar. The NFA expects the unloading to be completed in 2 days. The NFA is currently distributing 140 bags per week in major markets.
PCOO Secretary Martin Andanar is recognized as an outstanding media icon and broadcaster by the National Consumers Affairs Foundation. In his speech, Andanar emphasized the importance of awards such as Dangal ng Bayan for realizing the endless possibilities of human achievement. Meanwhile, the chief of Myanmar's Ministry of Information hailed the effective functions of state-run media organizations in the Philippines. Information Minister Pepe Smith led a media tour at the offices of the Philippine News Agency, Philippine Information Agency, PTV4, and PBS Radio Pilipinas. Smith described the Philippines as much forward and advanced in news and information. He also noted the potentials of the Philippines and Myanmar in combating disinformation.
Malacanang stresses the need to establish technical schools all over the country as it addresses the shortage of construction workers in the country. Presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo expressed concerns over the departure of skilled workers to other countries instead of working in the Philippines. The spokesperson also acknowledges the growing deficit of skilled workers. He has urged TESDA to take on the role of convincing more Filipinos to train as skilled workers.
The MMDA pushes for hits by the NBI on jaywalkers, and the DFA looks into collapse of a dam in Brazil. More on these and other news around the metro from Rom Dulfo.
The MMDA wants arrested jaywalkers to have hits on the database of the National Bureau of Investigation. This means jaywalkers must settle their penalties or have difficulty getting NBI clearances. The initiative is expected to help deter the increasing number of jaywalking cases that result in road accidents in Metro Manila. Meanwhile, around 200 people are reported missing after a tailings dam burst at a Brazilian iron mine. Parts of the southeastern state of Minas Gerais waterways are flooded with mining debris and mud. The Department of Foreign Affairs is still determining if there are Filipinos among the fatalities of a dam collapse in Brazil. In other news, the Department of Information and Communications Technology, or DICT, will provide CCTV cameras and monitoring sensors for the rehab of the Manila Bay. CCTV cameras may be used in coordination with the police in apprehending people that would dump wastes into the Manila Bay, and sensors would be used for monitoring the water pollution level in the bay. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Rom Dulfo.
Still to come, the government condemns the bombing of a church in Jolo, Sulu that killed at least 20 people. The military prepares extra measures to secure the next Bangsamoro plebiscite in February. More on these when the PNA Newsroom continues.
The government has condemned the bombing of a church in Jolo, Sulu as it vows to get to the bottom of the incident and bring the perpetrators to justice. PNP Oscar Albayalde flew today to Jolo to check on the probe into the explosion that left at least 20 people dead and several others wounded. Albayalde is also set to condole with the families of the victims and to rally the forces in Jolo to stay alert and vigilant and fight against terrorism. Earlier, National Security Advisor Hermogenes Esperon Jr. said the government is still trying to determine if the explosions are related to the ratified Bangsamoro Organic Law. Malacanang and the Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines also condemned the attacks and expressed condolences to the victims' families. The explosion occurred at the Our Lady of Mount Carmel Cathedral on Sunday morning. Of the 20 reported killed, 5 were military personnel, 1 from Philippine Coast Guard, and 14 were civilians. The government condemns the bombing of a church in Jolo, Sulu. It vows to get to the bottom of the incident and bring the perpetrators to justice. The PNP raised the second highest alert nationwide after twin explosions at a church in Jolo, Sulu killed 20 and injured some 100 others. Under the heightened alert, regional police directors were instructed to initiate further security measures to preempt and prevent similar incidents. Moreover, checkpoint operations and the implementation of the election gun ban will be also intensified. The Islamic State has claimed responsibility for the blasts.
Following the bombings in Jolo, Sulu, the Armed Forces of the Philippines will take extra precautionary measures to secure the second Bangsamoro Organic Law plebiscite on February 6. The second plebiscite will be held in the province of Lanao del Norte, except Iligan City, select provinces in North Cotabato, and the 28 barangays to be included in the region. The military has allocated some 10,000 troops and support units to help secure the plebiscite, along with the Philippine National Police, or PNP.
The Moro Islamic Liberation Front condemns the twin bombing in Jolo, Sulu MILF Peace Panel Chair Mohager Iqbal condemned what he described as a senseless violence that resulted in the death of at least 20 people. He said the incident has no place in our civilized society, especially with the anticipated ratification of the Bangsamoro Organic Law. Jolo and the entire province of Sulu voted against the creation of a new Bangsamoro region with greater autonomy in the plebiscite last January 21. MILF Chairman Murad Ibrahim said they will also investigate the bombing as he expressed doubt that these are connected to the plebiscite. Meanwhile, His Eminence Orlando Cardinal Quevedo and former Jolo Bishop Angelito Lampon issued a joint statement denouncing the bombing of the church on a holy day as a satanic act. They appealed to security and military forces to flush out the perpetrators and bring them to justice.
San Pablo City and Laguna joins the campaign to clean up Manila Bay. Meanwhile, continuous rains caused massive floods in Davao region. More on this and other stories from the provinces from Janice Cabe.
In Laguna, the city government of San Pablo City led the cleanup of Sampaloc Lake, one of its 7 wonder lakes, in support of the rehabilitation of Manila Bay. Local officials expressed their commitment to ensure the upkeep, conservation, and protection of its 7 famous lakes. They also aim to address pollution and the entry of invasive species which affect the lakes and neighboring areas, including Manila Bay. In Maguindanao, a 15-year-old soldier of the Bangsamoro Islamic Freedom Fighters surrendered to government troops. The minor presented himself to the military following the installation of solar lights in Pedtad village near the Liguasan Marsh where his relatives live. Lieutenant Colonel Harold Cabunok, commander of the 33rd Infantry Battalion, assured there is no need to rebel against the government with the overwhelming victory of the Bangsamoro Organic Law. In Davao Region, a villager was killed and nearly 20,000 people evacuated after major river channels swelled to alarming levels due to continuous rains on Saturday. The flood and landslide incidents struck 58 barangays across the region. Pagasa said there might be flash floods and landslides due to moderate to heavy rains. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Janice Cabe.
Up next, Filipinos mourn the death of OPM rock legend Pepe Smith. Baguio's city temperature drops to a record 9.8 degrees Celsius. The PNA Newsroom returns after these reminders.
Mababawasan po sir kasi sabi nga daw mag 20 isang stick na daw. Tapos yung yung naninigarilyo, sabi nila pag tumaas na daw hindi na daw sila maninigarilyo kasi biruin mo ang isang kaha 400 plus na. Kahit ako siguro magtinda baka titigil na rin ako.
Mababawasan pag tumaas? I don't think so. Siguro pupursigin na lang sila para makabili ng bisyo nila.
Medyo na mababawasan pero hindi lahat kasi hindi man lahat ng naninigarilyo nakaka-afford nun.
Tingin ko hindi kasi kapag yung tao kasi bisyo niya yun, 'di ba? Parang sa pagkakasino lang 'yan eh. Kahit na anong taas niyan, kung gusto niya talaga maglalabas at maglalabas talaga siya ng pera.
Bawasan siguro kasi mas medyo bawas na yung budget nila.
Sa tingin ko hindi pa rin. Mas dumadami pang naninigarilyo. Yun kasi sa binta namin, mahalata mo naman sa binta mo tumaas pa.
Filipino music fans and musicians mourn today the death of OPM rock icon Pepe Smith. The legendary musician passed away this morning at the age of 71. Pepe Smith suffered a stroke in November 2017. Smith's passing was confirmed by his daughter Daisy Smith Owen in a post on social media. It reads, Thank you for everything, Papa Bear ko. Thank you for being the best dad in the world. I know you're in the best place now. No more pains, Papa. I will see you in a few days. I love you to the moon and back. Smith was known for being part of the legendary group Juan de la Cruz Band alongside Wally Gonzalez and Mike Hanopol.
In our foreign news, French President Emmanuel Macron launched a series of public debates to diffuse public anger as Yellow Vest protests continue for the 11th weekend in a row. Around 69,000 protesters in the high visibility jackets gathered around the Champs-Élysées and other parts of France. Some carried banners announcing the government, while small groups formed barricades and destroyed public and private property. About 80,000 police were mobilized nationwide against protest violence, including 5,000 in Paris. Protests against the planned increase in fuel tax turned into a movement against social concerns. Macron announced last December an economic and social emergency plan, including boosting the minimum wage and easing tax increases on pensioners.
Talk and Text defeated the San Miguel Beermen for the first time in 2 years in the ongoing PBA Philippine Cup. The Katropa smashed the reigning 4-time champion Sunday after losing 9 straight games to San Miguel. TNT's last win over the Beermen was during Game 4 of the 2017 Commissioner's Cup Finals. Jason Castro left TNT with 24 points, 11 assists, 5 rebounds, and 4 steals. Meanwhile, the NLEX Road Warriors defeated Colombian Jeep despite squandering a 31-point lead. The Road Warriors survived a brave comeback from an upstart Colombian crew that attempted to recover in the 4th quarter. JP Eram led back NLEX to victory with 23 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, and 5 blocks.
Temperatures in Baguio City are dropping until February, which makes the City of Pines more attractive to tourists.
That's why residents are advising visitors to brace themselves for Baguio's signature cold weather. Janice Cave has the story.
Baguio City's temperature dropped to 9.8 degrees Celsius this morning, January 28. Pagasa recorded 10.4 degrees at 5 a.m. last January 22. Tourists who plan to visit the city between now and late February should brace for bone-chilling temperatures to fully enjoy their escapades in the City of Pines. Here are some tips from Baguio residents on what visitors must stop in their travel bags during this time of the year. A thick jacket or 2 thinner ones for layering, socks to keep the feet warm, a beanie or bonnet with earmuffs to warm the head, a muffler or scarf and a fleece or a light but warm shawl, thermal wear to help maintain body heat, lip balm and skin or face moisturizer to prevent dryness, a queen flower balm or the locally produced aceite alcanforado or aceite manzanilla to manage conditions resulting from the cold wind and temperature, vitamin C supplements, and handy hot pads and travel blankets for children. Temperature has been dropping for the past days because of the surging northeast monsoon that will last until the end of February during the 2 grand parades of the Baguio Flower Festival or Panagbenga. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Janice Cave.
Let's now check out the weather forecast for Metro Manila and the rest of the country. Let's take another look at today's top stories.
Day 1 of the battle for Manila Bay. Thousands participate in the launching of the rehabilitation of Manila Bay. The government condemns the bombing of a church in Jolo, Sulu that killed at least 20 people. The military will take extra precautionary measures to secure the second Bangsamoro Organic Law plebiscite. And Filipinos mourn the death of OPM rock legend Pepe Smith.
Thank you for watching another edition of the PNA Newsroom. To check out these and other stories, visit the PNA website or follow the Philippine News Agency on Facebook and Twitter.
For more stories about the government and how it serves the Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. And that's your daily dose of the latest news
and information that you need to know. From the PNA Newsroom, I am William Theo.
And I'm Pia Rosas Morato. Good day.